Hey everyone, it's Don with Don's Field of Dreams cards. Before I do my VR for Drew, just show you Teddy. We've had him for 5 weeks now, and yes, we did change his name because when my daughters heard that we were going to call him, the heck were we going to call him? Mobley, after Evan Mobley, the Cavaliers. My son picked it Mo. They both called him like, please tell me you're not naming him. That is the dumbest name we've ever heard. So he's growing quite a bit. Still bad, chewing everything. Still pooping and peeing in the house. No, he's not named after Ted Williams or Ted Sizemore. I guess the girls came up with Teddy Bear, but Teddy seems to fit. Right, bad boy? Okay, say goodbye. Go choose something. So Drew is doing a video on guys that are like stalwarts of a franchise, played there their whole career, and got to do a response from my buddy. I had the pleasure of meeting Drew about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. We went out and got some pizza, and it's funny. I forgot my pen. I like to have them all in this gold pen, and there was a Marshalls right there, or not a Marshalls, a Michaels craft shop right down the road. And after we got the pen, like the dorks all of us are in the community, we were over in the shadow boxes or the frames talking about how we display cards. So I first thought of a couple things. Or players to show for Scots. Players that played on one team. I could have went with the obvious for me. The two guys I collect the most. But that was, how many times can I do that? Then I thought about the Wiener brothers, like doing all Pirates. And then, after doing some research, realized these two didn't spend their whole career in Pittsburgh. So thanks, Drew. I learned something researching for your video. And then I thought, maybe guys born in Pittsburgh who spent their whole career. Mazeroski was born here in Pittsburgh. Musial was born here. I was like, Dick Groat was born here. And then I forgot he played for the Cardinals. And I was like, let's pick some random guys. I love Yogi Berra's cards, so I was going to show his. And I remembered, oh, wait, he was a player manager for the Mets. Can't show him. Warren Spahn. That'll be great. He's got a lot of great cards. Crap. He played for the Mets, too, at the end. So I did go with two Pittsburgh Pirates, but I went with three other guys, all bona fide stud Hall of Famers, but guys that I don't really show on my channel. I want to switch it up a little bit. So I'll start with one Pirate. And this is my 1927 E210 York Caramel Pride Trainer. And I know that because I can read the label. Because I know very little about post-war cards. So if I just seen this card, I would have had no idea what it was or is. But oldest card of Pie that I have. Hall of Fame third baseman. Spent his whole career here in Pittsburgh. My only DeLong gum card that I own is also Pie Trainer. And what's nice about having these shelves back here, you can see there's holes in it right now because when I'm going to do a video, I look at these shelves and I just pick cards off of them. And the card shop that's local to me, this guy was really upset with the grade of this. He sent it in to get graded, and that was okay with me because I got a nice deal on it. The last card I have of his, or at least that I'm showing, is the 33 Gaudy Pie Trainer. Again, if you would have said, what's his real name without looking at these cards, I would not have guessed Harold. And I need to do some research and find out where the name Pie came from. So that'll be something fun to do. And that's what's great about some of these videos. It makes you do some research. Next part, y'all know, but I don't think he gets, he gets so overshadowed by Clemente. He spent his whole career here in Pittsburgh. And that's Pops. And got to see him growing up. And he was at the last game that was played at Three Rivers Stadium. And he was supposed to be there on opening night when they opened PNC Park. They dedicated a statue to him, and he passed away, I think the day that they opened that park. I think he was in his 60s. Love this card way more than his rookie card, his second year. And again, if it was today's game, Willie wouldn't have been a Pirate forever. Either would have Clemente or probably a lot of these guys, but that's how it was back then. It might help if I put my mic on here. That's the beauty of not editing. You get to see my errors. And then a really nice looking 1971 Willie Stargell. I think the Pirates look great in this set because of the gold and the black with their uniform. So that's it for the Pirates. I've got 3 other guys here that I just randomly picked them because I don't think I really talk about them, and I thought they have some cool cards. So the first one being Bob Feller. And these 3 cards I'm going to show are all really 3 of my favorite cards of not only his, but some of my cards in my collection. You know, the 50 Bowman's just fantastic, as is the 53 Bowman. And this card, I was so thrilled to get this one. Love the yellow background, and that's the 52. And, you know, since Scott Reindeer Studios doesn't watch my videos, I thought it was okay to show some Indians cards so he doesn't get all excited. But just was, like I said, looking at the shelf, and it was like, hey, I don't think I've ever talked about this guy. And I believe this guy, correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't do my research. I'm not sure if he even played in the minor leagues. If he did, it was a very short period. But he was 19 when he came up from Baltimore, Maryland. Ended up being signed by the Tigers. And that's Al Kaline. Of course, I got his rookie. I shouldn't say of course. Of course, I got to show it. Some great rookies in that set. And then to show, you know, I only have a few cards from this collection, but I rarely show them. So I thought the Kaline 55 Bowman would be neat to show. And the last guy, poor guy, never got to play in the World Series, but I just picked 3 cards of his that I think are fun. I have his rookie and got some other great ones, but these are 3 I just particularly like. You know, this set has grown on me over the years. You saw I showed Musial and Clemente earlier, and like the Banks. The only Banks I don't really like, and I think it's the 65, where's the side profile. I have no desire to own that card. But on the other hand, look how happy he looks here. You know, and that's how he's known. You know, I did read a book on him, and I think he put a little bit of an act on for the public sometimes about how happy he always was. But, you know, maybe we all do that sometimes. Life can be tough for all of us, even if you're Ernie Banks. And then just love this card too. Just the Ernie Banks catching, even though he's known as a great hitter. You know, he changed the shortstop game. You know, he let it, the Jeters and the Ripkins and the A-Rods who came after him, you know, he was the star of that. So when I think of those guys, I think of either Chicago, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, or Detroit. There's no doubt in my mind. Or maybe not even those guys. You say Detroit, I think of Cobb, Kaline. You know, Chicago, Billy Williams, Ernie Banks. Cleveland, you know, Bob Feller and Don Mossy, of course. But some of those guys didn't play for 2 teams. So always happy to do a VR for friends. And Drew's a great guy. He's got a sneaky good collection. He acts like he sold all his cards, but as y'all saw when he did his room, he's got quite a collection. So Drew did this to support your channel and our friendship. And appreciate you doing it, buddy. So as always, guys, thanks for watching my video, and I'll talk to you soon.